Welcome back to Windhoek, Namibia at the Junior Africa Cup 2025. You're about to watch Uganda versus Kenya. My name is Penda Palanamjo. I'll be one of the commentators, and I will be joined shortly by my co-commentator. We've seen lots of action for today. For those who are just joining us, we earlier saw South Africa have a bit of a flexing of their muscles, 19-0 against Zambia. Zambia then played against Zimbabwe for the men's, 2-1, the score to Zimbabwe. Egypt versus Kenya, goals galore. Kenya were leading 4-2, but Egypt managed to get the score leveled at 4-4. And then South Africa versus the Namibian men, teams that were up on top of the log at the time. South Africa flexing their muscles there as well, 8-0 against the Namibian men. But the women for Namibia came back. Home ground, home crowd pride, triumph over Zimbabwe, 6-0. And now for the last fixture of the game, Uganda versus Kenya. I'm joined by my co-commentator. Please announce yourself.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Amwama here, joining you for this evening's last game between Kenya and Uganda, the closing game for the Day 2 Junior Africa Cup here at the Davis Windhoek Astrofield.
So Uganda unfortunately were unable to play their game yesterday. So they should be feeling refreshed and feeling ready to test their skills out against their opponents. Unfortunately, they had to give their points over to South Africa, as one would call it. On your screen here will be Namwase, the goalkeeper for Kenya. You've got the Uganda. Sorry, you've got the lineup for Uganda. Namwase, he Hajira. My apologies. Nandi, Nankinga. All these players, I think, ready to show their talents. Alimo, the captain, and they're coached by Moses Nsereko, and then of course the substitutions. What do you think Kenya will be saying to themselves against this Uganda outfield? And you've got the Kenyan lineup here as well. What do you think the Kenyans will be saying to themselves?
The Kenyans right now, they do not know Uganda's anyway how Uganda plays, because Uganda hasn't played yet. So the Kenyans, I think they're gonna start off holding to just see how the Ugandans are gonna play, and then from there, from the second chaka, we might see a shift in the game.
So one of the things that we saw yesterday from the Kenyan teams, and this is both the men and the women, they are strong runners. So I suppose that will be one of the things that they'd like to also use to their advantage. They have the first feel of the game, and we can see on the fields right now the teams will be running out for the national anthems, and you can imagine the nerves for the Ugandan teams, you know, and then the composure. The Kenyans hoping that they can also get themselves on the score sheet. They played against Namibia yesterday. Unfortunately, they lost, but they will be sure to look to redeem themselves. So we'll just be preparing for the anthems and then get back to the action. inspiring stuff there. The anthems for the Ugandan team and the anthems for the Kenyan teams. The umpires for today, Irene Handura from Namibia. And then we have umpire Johari Saida. She is from Malaysia, it seems. The reserve umpire will be Fatma Mahmoud. The coaches for Kenya, like mentioned, it is Coach Okeo. And then the coach for Uganda is Coach Nsereko. We're really anticipating lots of action here. So if you're just tuning in to our viewers, welcome to the Junior Africa Cup here at the Davin Trusco Hockey Fields in Windhoek, Namibia. It is a cool evening here, a nice Saturday evening, and I'm really trusting that the teams will go out there. Uganda, their first game for the tournament. Unfortunately, they were not here yesterday, and Kenya playing their second game, really hoping that they can finally get some points on the board. This is a round-robin tournament, serving not only as the Junior Africa Cup, but also serving as a qualifier for the Junior World Cup later on in the year. I'm sure the teams will be nervous, but ready to go. The umpire's just making sure the final details are correct, no holes in the goals. So you don't want an accidental goal that was not a goal, do you, Jason?
No, not at all. You would want to make sure that all the goals that go in are actually goals, because any mistake will cost either one of the teams a chance to actually qualify for the Junior World Cup.
Absolutely, and the Women's Junior World Cup will be hosted in Santiago, Chile. That will be later on in the year, and for the men, it will be hosted in India. I mean, everyone wants to travel and showcase their talent against the best that the world has to offer. Kenya looks like they have the right for the pushback in the first half, and everyone's just preparing. Huge smiles from the Ugandan ladies. Just in your view there, the Kenyan goalkeeper. Goalkeeper Nasambo. What do you say to your teammates there? What do you say to your team players as the Ugandan coach? What are some of the tactics? You know, you've already got 5 goals down against you because you weren't able to play the first game. But what do you say? This is their first official game.
I was talking to the Kenyan coach today, and he's quite afraid of the Ugandans, considering that he does not know how they play at all.
Okay, push back from the Kenyans, and they're just trying to move the ball around, have a feel of what the Ugandans have to offer. A nice ball through the middle, and let's see if there's an end pass. Turnover, but is it? All right. Uganda just win the free hit there. Another free hit, just stick obstruction it seems. So the player took the ball illegally. All right, so just patient work there from the Kenyans. The team's really not settled quite yet. And so they're just shifting the ball. And from yesterday's action, as you can see on your screen right now, it's a mini log as to where the teams are standing. So both teams, unfortunately, starting off with losses. Uganda due to the forfeit, but there's still lots of opportunity to redeem themselves and get some points. And just a huge thank you to NBC Sport for broadcasting the tournament. And you're here live at the Davin Trusco Hockey Fields. Great jab there from the Kenyan number 12. That is Auma. Coach just encouraging his player to drive forward. You know, as the coach, I think what the coach would want is just a nice crash ball into the circle, put the teams under pressure. That's what the coach would want. Okay, moving the ball, shifting, but there's a turnover. It's a bit scrappy right now, but let's see if they can get control of the game. Kenya on the counter-attack with their number 18, Jalegata. Turnover from Uganda. Oh, great elimination skill there. And another elimination, a body obstruction there. She used that skill very well, the Ugandan number 9. Alimo, who's also their captain. The Ugandan number 9, Alimo, their captain. Great skill. Maybe that's why she's the captain. Very good composure on the ball there. Umpire just asking the ball to be taken a bit further back from where the free hit or the infringement was. Turnover again. Uganda, loose ball. Kenya number 16, Namachanja. Umpire just using a whistle there, asking the players to take the free hit from where the infringement was. Now the ball has traveled 5. There's a second pass there. Just another foot. Just another foot there. The game needs to get some balance. It's a little bit scrappy, don't you think, Jason?
Yes, it's quite a slow game. A bit sloppy than I would have expected from the Ugandans. Because I've seen the Kenyans play yesterday against our ladies. And
an aerial ball there. Deemed to be, I think it's deemed to be dangerous. It's deemed to be dangerous by the umpire. So Kenya have an opportunity to just launch another attack. They're number 7 on the chance now. Ranga, the captain. Another infringement at the edge of the circle. It's quite stop-start, you know. As the coach, you want the team to kind of just get control of the game, let it be moving and more flow. And then umpire signaling, great signaling there, just showing the players why the infringement was there. And that was a foot foul. And as you know, Jason, in hockey, you're only allowed to play the game with the stick and ball. You're not allowed to use any of your body parts. So you can't kick the ball. And that's why the umpire signaled there. Switch ball from the Ugandans. Nice elimination and looking for an option. Ugandan number 5, Atim. Driving that ball. Great ball down the line. And let's see what they can do there. Just a switch ball there. Ranga, the Kenyan captain, looking for that crash ball into the circle and just a narrow miss there. Great positioning from the attacking player, but you also want to question the Ugandans just allowing such a long ball to travel through the lines, Jason.
Yes, very much. You would want to question them, but again, you also want to question the Kenyan forward playing with a flat stick in field hockey. Upright stick, that's the rule. So, yeah, we'll see where they end up today. But
great carry there from the Kenyan player there. And great tackle, turnover. Let's see what the Ugandans can do. Looking for a foot, good composure there, under pressure, and she's just looked for a foot to relieve some of that pressure. And the Ugandan captain, Alimo again, probably, you think she's going to go long for an overhead? Yeah, she attempts an overhead, unfortunately doesn't quite play off. Great steal, backhand steal, one-handed backhand steal there. Just hoping that the game can find its momentum. And fair enough to the Ugandans, they've not played, so they're also just kind of testing themselves out, seeing whether they can get some rhythm. Another attempted overhead, and it doesn't quite get pulled off. Uganda with the opportunity to turn over the possession, but Kenya win the ball, driving strong there, playing the ball into the pocket and into the circle. What does the keeper do? Allows it out, and it's a defensive hit outside. The umpire just asking for the free hit to be taken where the ball went out. So in line with where the ball went out. Sideline ball to the Ugandans. Ball came off the Kenyan stick there. Turnover. The umpire said they're wasting time on the ball, and she turns over the possession. Now Kenya have an opportunity to launch their own attack. Atim from Uganda wins the ball back again. However, the umpire deems to have been illegally done. Another turnover. The ball has been a game of turnovers, don't you think there, Jason?
Yes.
Just too many turnovers.
It's too many turnovers, but then again, the Kenyans are in a dominating position.
Kenya with an opportunity for an advantage, great advantage played by the umpire, by the way. They were in the circle, umpire signaling initially for a short corner, but she saw that the Kenyan had broke through into the circle with an opportunity to take a shot. Long corner, Kenya. Great umpiring from our umpire there. Our umpire Johari Shaila from Malaysia. Uganda launching a counter-attack of their own down the right flank of Kenya, intercepted. But the Ugandans win it back. Kenya win it back again. Another turnover, playing the ball into the pocket, looking for a circle of penetration. No way through. Will she turn it out? Oh, great work there from the Kenyan number 16. Namachanda works the ball in, tries to circle penetration. There, unfortunate turnover again. Stick tackle. So you just cannot win the ball like that. And at this level, I think that's a bit of a rookie mistake there. You just cannot win the ball, going over the player stick. You have to try and work around, get in front of the player, and then good hockey principles. Uganda switching the ball, trying to attack now from the Kenyan left. Intercepted. And the ball's gone out of play there. Uganda's ball, sideline ball. The play has to be 5. Great tackle again. So the player has to allow 5 meters between the restart of play. Uganda looking for a long. Unfortunate there. Poor execution of skill, but they have another opportunity to go at it again. Backhand ball down the line from the Kenyans. Transferred through, switch ball, and what can they do with this ball here? Great elimination there. The circle penetration, looking for the shot, and surely short corner. We finally have a short corner for the game. Very good work there from their number 15, Ongayo. Very good work from the Kenyan number 15, driving into the circle and from the edge wanted to take that shot early. Jason, what do you think the Kenyans will be doing there? Do you think they've got a drag flick or just a straight poke, a variation?
I think the Kenyans will just take the shot, no drag flick. I don't think the ladies, and it seems like they are going to take the hit and no drag flick by their positioning right now. There are no castles, just straight to the stopper and hit.
The Kenyan pusher, the Kenyan injector was ready for that one, but she just had to allow some time for the Ugandans to prepare. Let's watch what they've got for us. The push is good. And it's a variation, but unfortunately, all right, it's a 16 hit. I thought the umpire was going to blow there because it looked like the ball struck the Kenyan foot, but I suppose in the end nothing came from it. Uganda tried to set up again and attack. Let's see how they get the outlet. Looking for the long ball down the line, but again intercepted. Kenya now on the ball with a counter-attack, playing the ball into the pocket. It's a crash ball, deflected out, and it's a long corner again to the Kenyans. Kenyans seem to be dominating the possession here, Jason.
Yes, Kenyans are dominating the position, and I was just looking right now on FIH World Ranking, and Kenya is ranked 34 in the world, while Uganda is ranked 77.
77. So there is that difference in ranking. But let's see what the Ugandan girls have to say about this, Jason. That's an interesting statistic there. So huge significance in terms of ranking. Not sure what that means like in terms of the under 21 level, but already from the senior level there's a difference in the ranking. So let's see what the Ugandan girls have to say about this. The possession on your screen right now, 55% of the possession to the Kenyans in red. 45% of the possession to the Ugandan ladies in the yellow. So the Kenyans attacking the screen from the right to the left, and the Ugandan ladies attacking the screen from the left to the right. Uganda on the ball now in yellow. It's still very scruffy. Both teams unable to fully get a grasp on this game. Jason, with 4 minutes to go, what are you saying as the coach to any of these teams in the quarter time?
As the Ugandan coach, I would try getting everyone else to, I'll tell my midfielders to help out at the back because the ball is not getting through from the back to the front. Simple game, tiki-taka, ball goes. As the Kenyan coach, I would actually be frustrated with my forwards because they're not finishing the job. So I would tell them to finish the job much more quicker, much more faster, because the way they are playing right now seems like the Kenyans have much more fresh legs than the Ugandans that did not play.
Speaking of which, here we've got a counter-attack with the Kenyans again, looking to circle penetrate and get a final decisive action. It's a foot. It looks like a foot in the circle. The umpire says play on. It was a stick then. I thought it was a foot, but a great attack there and good defensive work from the Ugandans as well. You know, I thought surely that a goal was coming from there, but they held their own. Uganda now trying to launch an attack of their own. Ball just loose there. Switch ball to Kenya number 2, Wekesa, sorry. Umpire blows the whistle there. Uganda trying to launch through Atim, they're number 5. Sideline ball, very, very scrappy. At this level, those balls have to stay in. They have to find the passes, Jason.
Yes, very much. That's why I say I would want my players to play tiki-taka. If the Ugandans want this game, they should pass around the Kenyans.
But in the end, the sticks, the balls have to find a stick. And as you can see there again, it's just another interception, you know, and the balls have to find a stick. Kenya launching an attack now, number 18. Runs through and hits the captain, the Ugandan captain's foot. Limo, the Ugandan captain, just getting a body on the line there. Ball played out. They're looking for a crash ball into the circle. Ball deflects up. Umpire signaling for a long corner. We're into the last 2 minutes of this quarter. Let's see if Kenya make any action of this. Kenya playing the ball out, trying to draw out the Ugandans. Kenya number 3, Otiendo. Backhanded ball into the circle. Umpire deemed that to be dangerous. Crash ball through the lines, and that ball looks like it's going all the way through for a defensive hit out. As you can see, signaled by umpire Irene Handura from Namibia. Just huge credit to the umpires so far. I think they've really uplifted the standard of play. You know, they've tried to let advantage go on for as much as possible. They were really forced. Any card that they've used, they were forced into it, don't you think, Jason? Umpires have been doing a great job, I feel.
Throughout the tournament, the umpires have shown exemplary performance, even though some calls were, we thought they were questionable, but umpires only blow what umpires see.
They can only blow what they see. Uganda winning the ball, turning over finally in the Kenyan, attacking. Oh, what's the decision there? Short corner from the umpire. So what happened there, Jason, is that the Kenyan player was not 5 meters away from the restart of play. The Ugandan player initiated play and she was not allowed her full 5 meters, and the umpire said, this is top level hockey. We're not here to instruct you. Short corner. So Kenyan ill discipline there. They're punished with a short corner against them. Let's see what the Ugandans have to offer.
Yes, very much. I wouldn't have expected less from the umpire because this is Junior Africa Cup qualifiers. So whoever wins here, they are going to the World Cup, and there's no leniency there.
Ugandan first short corner of the game. The push out is very, very good. Oh, and unfortunately, just a miscommunication. You can see the frustration from the Ugandan team. And Kenya now with an opportunity to launch a counter-attack. Let's see what they can do. Great tackle. And seems like a head injury. Is she okay? Ugandan number 2, Nandi. I hope she's okay. Oh, and Uganda just did not make the most of that. Miscommunication, it looks. And the horn signals the end of the first quarter. Really scrappy opening of the first quarter, but hopefully the players, that's just down to nerves. Jason, what do you think?
This was quite an interesting first half, seeing as to it's Uganda's first game of the tournament. So I think Uganda from here, they will expect to be pressed by the Kenyans.
For anyone of our viewers joining in here on MBC, welcome to the Junior Africa Cup hosted in Windhoek, Namibia. 2025 tournament, not just serving as the Continental Cup, but also serving as an opportunity for 3 of the men and 3 of the women's teams to qualify for the Junior World Cup. On your screen right now is just highlights from the first quarter. Ugandan's player number 5, Atim, just trying to get out of trouble there. 3 of the teams from this tournament get to qualify from each of the pools, or each of the gender groups, sex groups, men and women's. 3 of each get to qualify for the Junior World Cup. So there's a lot at stake here. All the players want to get a chance to showcase their skills. What are some of the things that you are saying to the teammate there? If you're Kenya's coach, what are you saying?
If I was Kenya's coach, I would tell them, guys, let use the outlets much more, utilize the pockets so that we can penetrate much more easier. Men top deep spot, one-time goal.
And just a visual before this one here was the opportunity, great advantage again being played by the umpire. There was a foot in the circle, but the umpire just saw that the Kenyan player had a ball in the circle and there was an opportunity to score. Unfortunately, Kenya didn't maximize that opportunity. Great action there from our cameramen, capturing all the angles of this 2025 Junior Africa Cup in Windhoek, Namibia. Umpire starting the second quarter of this game. Kenya look a lot more structured, and great crash ball there through. Interception, great tackle there. Right, Uganda now with an opportunity just to run through. Umpire signaling there for a free hit. Not sure what the infringement was. Maybe obstruction, one player running across the line of another. Yeah, much better from the Kenyans here. Slow and disciplined build up, trying to draw the Ugandans, but again, just that final ball, that final technical challenge where the player's missing the ball. Umpire seems to have wanted the ball to be stationary.
It's a player that tends to frustrate you because you want to do the quick play and
just a head injury there. Yeah, you want to do a quick play, and sometimes you think that the umpire doesn't get it, but it is the correct call. It is within the rules of the game. At the free hit, the ball has to be stationary, even if the player is going to do a south pass. Kenya just being patient there. Great ball using their pivot player, their number 9. Crash ball, trying to get the ball up front. Interception from the Ugandans, but it goes to the way of the Kenyans. Trying to scrabble for that ball. Still Kenya ball. The pivot player again, launching that ball. Nice little elevated ball through. Not much happening. Atim for Uganda. Another interception. The captain carrying through. You know, it's just one of the things I'm noticing here from the ladies. Huge overhead there. Great overhead. Does it get to an end of a stick? And Uganda have a chance to attack the Kenyan circle here. Let's see what they can do with it. Kenya under pressure a little bit from the defender. Oh, that is great skill. She's under pressure there. Just looks for a foot to release the tension. But again, the principles in this game have been lacking. Cannot find a pass. Unfortunately, cannot trap. They want to fix that. This is the Junior Africa Cup. We expect the talent and the level to be at such. 1-2 combination there. Uganda trying to break into the circle, but Kenya intercept. Oh, that is surely the last warning there. Just a shove in the back from the Ugandan player. Another interception, unable to find the teammates. Umpire deemed there to be an infringement on the Ugandan. Another infringement. Great skills there. Trying to attack the Kenyan circle, but just unable to make their way through. Another interception. The ball has been played in the Kenyan 23 now. Circle penetration for Uganda, but no one at the end of that. Free hit out to the Kenyans.
Well, I say if the Kenyans don't get themselves out of this, out of their half, they might be facing a problem.
Good skill there from the Kenyan number 15, Ongayo. Just shifting the ball one way and then another and eliminating the player, sorry. Aerial ball, well received from the Kenyan then. Their number 17 tries to launch an attack against the Ugandans. Now Uganda with an opportunity to lift a head up and find a teammate. They've just got to look up and find a teammate. Crash ball through, another interception. You know, for any of the juniors watching here, it's important when you're carrying the ball to keep your head up. You know, stick on ball, as they say. You want to stick on ball, keep your head up, scanning, trying to find your teammates. Great pass there from the Ugandan captain, trying to change the angle of attack. The Ugandan number 10, Ninsima. Ugandan number 10, Ninsima on the ball there, just winning a free hit in the center of the park. River ball into the Kenyan circle. Looks like it's going to be, oh, it's still kept in play. The Kenyan avoided the long corner there. Jason, what do you have to make of the action that we've seen through the course of this tournament yesterday and today?
We've seen some quite high tempo hockey and then some low tempo hockey. But with high tempo hockey, like the game between Namibia and Egypt yesterday, when Namibia won. Today it was Egypt and Kenya, Namibia and South Africa, and that's just the men's side. And we also have the women's side, where we saw some high tempo pressing from South Africa today against the Zambian team.
Yes.
So,
look, the South Africans are giants of continental hockey, so we don't expect anything less from them. And Kenya here on the counter-attack, just looking to break through, unfortunately, just could not make the most of it. The captain from Uganda, Alimo, running back just to make sure that she covers her defenders, and the umpire just asking, please take the free hit from where the infringement was. It was a good opportunity for the Kenyans to launch an attack there, Jason.
Yes, it was a very good opportunity for them to, it was a goal-scoring opportunity, and they quickly stopped the ball, then gone in.
Yes, executed the final ball. It's always that final ball that fails us, unfortunately. And at this level, details.
At this point, like the Kenyans say, rahizi, which means keep calm. So they should just keep calm, and then they might just win the game.
Umpire just signaling there for dangerous play. That ball was launched into a crowded area, lifted a little bit, and she just thought, you know, their duty is to protect the players first, and she just thought that it was not safe execution of the skill. Good turn on the backhand there from the Ugandan player, the Ugandan number 7, Atim. There are two Atims. I'll just have to actually inquire whether they're related. Do you think that they're siblings? We've got quite a few siblings playing in this tournament. JAC and Nicola Fourie from Namibia, and we've got some of the Zambian boys who are also siblings. Jeremiah, for Jeremiah, the Zambian boy, and his brother Mwansa Alex. So quite a few siblings in the tournament already. Kenya now just leading the ball, shifting the ball. Uganda interception. Great interception from the Kenyan number 2. Let's see what they've got there. Wekesa number 2 for Kenya there, trying to launch an attack. Great jabbing there from the Ugandans, and they win the turnover. No, it's been a game of turnovers, which isn't really nice to see as a coach, is it, Jason?
Not at all. You wouldn't want to win the ball, then you give the ball away. It is, it will make you think that the passing between the players is not connecting.
All right, and on the screen there, the visuals, you've got an indication of who's dominating the possession. Kenya, 55% of the possession compared to Uganda's 45%. However, the score is still 0-0 here at the Junior Africa Cup at the Davin Trusker Hockey Fields in Windhoek, Namibia. Cool Saturday night in the Windy City, the Windhoek, which translates to Windy Corner. What's your weather app saying there for the temperature today, Jason?
My weather app is saying that the temperatures are at 20 degrees Celsius and with a mostly clear sky, with a humidity of 26%. So
Kenya now launching an attack. Jason, sorry to interrupt you there. The circle penetration. Oh, last minute interception from the Ugandan number 7, Atim. Great one-handed carry, and she's launching a counter of us. Oh, unfortunately, just swung and missed there. Unbelievable. What a bit of action we've got there. That's more what we want to see. We want to see the game flowing. We want to see the game flowing. The passes connecting. Kenya again with the attack. Backhand into the circle. Goalkeeper lifts the game, and umpire rightfully makes the call. That was not going to be safe for any of the players. She gives a short corner. Let's see what the Kenyans have to offer this time. Oh, sorry. Let's see what they have to offer. And sorry to have interrupted your weather report, Jason.
it's all good, Pendapala. It's the game was getting heated.
It was getting beautiful. Look at that! Look at that action there. You got the Kenyan player just hoping to get there to on the end of that, but the Ugandan keeper raised the ball. It started to become a bit dangerous, and the umpire just signaled for a short corner. Let's see what the Kenyans have to offer. Number 14 for Kenya on the ball with the injection. Senoi. Let's see. Senoi with the injection. The injection is good to the top player there. It's a strike, interception. Oh, brilliant defensive work. Looked for a foot, just relieved the pressure there. And it's a hit out for the Ugandans. Brilliant defense. Not too much wrong to criticize the Kenyans there in terms of the injection. Lots of good speed on the push out. Umpire just asking for the infringement to be taken where it was. The free to be taken where the infringement was. Sorry. The humidity there, 42%. Any chance of rain? Wind speed, 16 kilometers an hour. Any chance of rain, Jason?
No chances of rain
No
tonight
chance
at
of
all.
rain.
I think we've seen enough flooding for a while now
right.
in Windhoek.
Kenya now again launching an attack through their number 16, Namachanga. She's been fantastic for the Kenyans. Just attacking that baseline. Crash ball into the circle. Intercepted by the Ugandans. All right, Uganda just trying to recycle the play. Crash ball again into the circle. Oh, unfortunately, just hit a Kenyan foot. All right, Uganda's number 3 loses the ball. Oh, great skill there from Kenya's number 12, Auma. Good skill. Great composure on the ball. Crash ball into the circle. Backstick, and it looks like it's an opportunity for another long corner for the Kenyans. The umpire is just asking for the oh well, sorry, my apologies. The umpire was actually signaling there for a defensive hit out for the Ugandans. Ball straight through the middle there. Intercepted by the Kenyans, but the Ugandans are fighting for that ball. It's a Ugandan free hit at the middle of the park. Number 11 for Uganda, Temaya. Temaya from Uganda leaving it for the defender Atim. Atim tries to launch an attack. Umpire deems to be dangerous. Swing and miss. Kenya now running through. The Kenya number 12, Auma. Now the Kenya number 15, Ongayo. Into the circle. Oh, and surely, yes. That is just dangerous play from the Kenyans. Correct decision. And once again, just great umpiring there from the umpires. Our umpire, Johari Shahiela. Johari Shahiela. Apologies to the umpire for butchering her name there. She's from Malaysia. Fantastic call.
International umpire.
International umpire. Shows the caliber of the tournament here. Just missed that ball. 16 hit out again for the Ugandans.
doesn't just show the caliber of the tournament, it also shows that hockey development in Africa is actually happening.
You know, just as the play is building up here, just so that you know, there's 7 countries represented at this tournament, 6 countries in each pool. So unfortunately, Ghana and Nigeria had to withdraw. Hockey is not a cheap sport, so probably some financial reasons, well, reasons unknown to us, but we can only assume it in our context, in our settings, it was a financial reason. Uganda now with the ball, trying to launch an attack. Kenya down the left-hand side of, cutting inside, trying to change the attack. Unfortunately, there's just nothing materializing, but they've still get the ball. Trying to run that down is Kenya's number 5, Nyongesa. Nyongesa still on the ball. Ongayo trying to launch that ball into the circle. Turnover again. Nakato winning the free hit there for the Ugandans. The umpire just asking the players to be 5 and allowing the attacking players that freedom to take the free hit, Jason. Ball to Atim now, Ugandan central player. She's been quite pivotal. Unfortunately, just loses the ball there, but wins it back again. Again, that double turnover will be very frustrating as a coach. Oh, great elimination there. Uganda with an opportunity to attack the Kenyan circle. Deciding there's nothing there, trying to recycle the play. Very scruffy stuff there. Whose ball is it? Number 9 for Kenya, Jokeo, frustrated, just not knowing what's happening. But she sees that she's won the ball and they have an opportunity to launch an attack. And last 10 seconds of this second quarter, which will signal the end of the first half, Jason. Not too many talking points. Not too many talking points. A few short corners for both teams. Even.
I mean, both coaches might just have a lot to say than we think. Because, especially the Kenyans, they're not finishing. They're entering the circle, but they are not finishing. As for the Ugandans, they are pushing past the. So in hockey, you have the 4 zones. You have your zone 1, which is inside your 23. Zone 2, just before the halfway line. Zone 3, above, and then zone 4.
Your attacking zone.
Your attacking zone. So Kenya is reaching zone 4, but they are not penetrating the circle the way they want to or need to.
It's that final pass here at the Junior Africa Cup. 0-0 between Uganda and Kenya. Uganda playing the first game of the tournament. Unfortunately, they were not able to show up for their game yesterday, so they forfeited that one, losing 5-0 to South Africa. But today, scores 0-0, so they might be able to get some points on the board. And as coming onto your screen here, Jason, just some of the action from the first half. You can see the Kenya's number 7, Ranga, their captain, launching a ball. Unfortunately, and you can see number 15, Ongayo, who's also been one of the attacking players for Kenya, just couldn't get a stick to the end of that. And that's just something that you were saying here, Jason. That final pass, that final stick connection, just not getting there. And Ongayo again with an opportunity to take the shot, and a brilliant advantage played from the umpire. She saw that Ongayo was in the circle, had an opportunity to take the shot, and she did so.
Yes. One thing I do think the Kenyans are gonna, the coach is gonna change about his team, the Kenyan team. I think he's gonna change the short corner strategy.
What do you think the Kenyan coach is saying to them for the short corner, Jason?
I think he's telling them instead of the push, stop and hit, rather push, beat 2 men with a pass.
You think they're going for a variation?
Yes, I think they're going for a variation.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what the coaches might be saying. So your visuals just in front there, sorry. Statistics for the game. Kenya owning 59% of the possession, 41% of that possession going to Uganda. You can see it's quite even with respect to the short corners. 2 short corners to Kenya, opposed to 1 from Uganda. Circle penetrations, 8. to Kenya. And as a coach, you're thinking, circle penetrations 8. We want more short corners, and we definitely want more shots from that. Don't you think, Jason?
Yes, I do think with 8 circle penetrations and no goals, and you have 3 short corners, you would want to capitalize on every chance you get.
Absolutely. Absolutely. At least the game has been quite clean. I mean, I heard there were quite a few cards in the earlier games. The Egyptians, unfortunately, again, going down to 9 men. Maybe a discipline issue there?
Yes, very much. I think the game got a bit too physical. You would wonder what kind of hockey they were playing, but it was good hockey. Otherwise, and the Egyptians play good hockey in Africa. The senior men's team is ranked top 20 in Africa, so and in the world.
Look, and in the end, considering that they were down to 9 men, pulling the game back to 4-4 was a good confidence boost for the Egyptians, and unfortunately for the Kenyan men, you're just thinking, we let that one go. However, focusing on this game, 0-0, Uganda versus Kenya, and you're thinking that the Kenyans are liking their chances. You're thinking that they maybe want to grab full 3 points here, don't you think, Jason?
Yes, I think this game the Kenyans would want to go with the win home. 'Cause looking at the stats, the way they're showing with ball possession, circle penetrations, 3 shots on goal, I think.
And we will be going through to a short break. You're here at the Junior Africa Cup, live from Windhoek, Namibia, at the Davin Trusker Hockey Fields, brought to you by NBC Sports. We'll be back to you with you after the break.
Tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m. on NBC TV for Soccer Pitch, Namibia's premier football magazine show.
I spoke about myself, like I'm being bullied.
Currently, they're getting paid salaries that are better than some of the guys in the Premier League.
How many competitive leagues do we have in the regions?
Football is business, and if you're not in for business, I think you need to get out.
Dive deep into the latest football headlines with expert analysis on fixtures, results, and issues on and off the pitch with us.
You must be able to meet specific minimum. Okay, Hezron, I'm educating you now.
The contracts in the night or in the day? The contracts are signed at night here.
Whether it's profiling star players, catching up with club administrators, or hearing from former football greats, Soccer Pitch brings you closer to the beautiful game.
Plus, we keep you in the loop with a touch
of international flair.
With me, your host, Jovita Kanjumbwa.
And me, Setan Nishidimbwa.
Don't miss out on your weekly football fix. Soccer Pitch has it all. Soccer Pitch. For the love of the game. NBC. It's ours. Every team huddle. Every kickoff. Every scrum. Every tackle, every sidestep, every try, absolutely everything rugby. Absolute Rugby, for the love of the game. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Behind every victory, there's a story. Behind every loss, a battle. This isn't just about the highlights, the trophies, or the roars of the crowd. It's about what happens behind the scenes, under immense pressure and in the shadows that few ever see. It's about uncovering the truths buried beneath the surface. This is Sport Uncovered, where we go beyond the headlines to reveal the hidden and untold stories of Namibian sport. This is not just about the athletes. Behind every performance, there is a system. Decisions are made by coaches, managers, owners, and administrators. These choices don't just influence games, They shape careers, shatter dreams, and define the future of the sport itself. Sport Uncovered digs deeper. We expose what happens behind closed doors, the challenges faced, and the dynamics that can make or break the game. This is about more than what happens on the field. It's about why sport happens and sometimes why it doesn't. No story is too small, no stone is left unturned. Sport Uncovered, where every move matters and every story counts. Every team huddle, every kickoff, every scrum, every tackle, every sidestep, every try, absolutely everything rugby. Absolute Rugby, for the love of the game. Wednesdays at 7 p.m.
Welcome back to the Junior Africa Cup here in Windhoek, Namibia at the Dave and Trusco Hockey Fields. You're watching Uganda versus Kenya, brought to you by NBC Sport. Live! How awesome is it to have hockey being shown live? Jason, it's not often that we see that.
Not at all. We do not see that streaming of hockey games that often in our country because we do not host that many tournaments, or let me say international hockey tournaments.
But here's an opportunity, and on your screen, Kenya in the red, attacking your goals from the left to the right. Uganda in the yellow, attacking the goals from the right to the left. The game was a bit of a scrappy opening, but I trust in the 5 minutes, the coaches have had the time to give their instructions, tell the players where they ought to do, probably improve some of their skills, right? Oh, great ball there, and you can see already starting there. The Kenyans are starting to find themselves again. 1-2 combination play from the Kenyans. Unfortunately, just hit the foot there, and that has been the theme of this game, Jason. So frustrating. You've got a few passes going, and then you just lose the ball. Unfortunate.
You would want to assume maybe the players are already tired.
All right, 16. So that's a defensive hit out for the Kenyans. Ugandan looking for that long ball, unfortunately not finding a teammate. So for any of the new viewers, this is the Hockey Championships Junior Africa Cup, serving not only as the Continental Championship for the under-21s, but also as an opportunity to qualify to the Junior World Cups that will be hosted in Chile, Santiago, Chile for the women, and in India for the men. 3 spots each. 3 spots to the women, 3 spots to the men. Everyone's licking their lips, hoping to get a ticket to that competition. Jason?
Yes, very much. I think all the teams are now fighting for that spot. One of those 3 spots belongs to one of the 6 teams here. And, tensions are high.
7 nations represented at this championships. Namibia, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Uganda, Kenya, Egypt. Did I mention South Africa? Zambia. That's the 7th one. 7 countries, that's awesome. All right, here we go. Ongayo launching that ball. Again, just dangerous. Basics, just dangerous. And Kenya's captain, Alimo, probably going to try and find an overhead or a nice long ball. Again, through the center. That's a turnover, but great strength there from both players. Looking for the opportunity. Kenya now with an opportunity to attack the circle. And what's going to materialize there? Great composure. Very, very good composure there from the Ugandans. And the cameraman just changing to give you an angle and seeing what's going on here. Kenya still have the ball in the Ugandan 23. Trying to draw them out. Playing the ball back. Crash ball into the circle. Again, free hit to the Kenyans outside the circle. I think umpire just calling for obstruction there. Let's see what the Kenyans have to do with this ball. Kenya's number 7, Ranga, their captain, launching that attack. Another circle penetration from the Kenyans. Just hit the foot first there. Just hit the foot first there. Auma could not sort her feet out, and the opportunity fizzles out.
I would say wrong foot.
All right. Player just deemed to be backing into the player there, so you can't do that, Jason. You can't back into a player. You have to make sure that the player has an equal opportunity to win the ball.
It is considered obstruction when you are backing into a player.
Oh, good stick shield there, and very, very good skill from the Kenyan there. Winning the short corner, hit the foot.
I mean,
Let's go on.
That is one thing about penetrating a circle. It's either shot on goal or you get a short corner.
Fantastic.
Look for that foot, get a short corner, then you can try again and score.
Absolutely. Make the keeper work or look for that foot. Beautiful conditions to be playing. Okay, the Ugandan unit are ready. Let's see what's their defensive run out. Great push there to the captain, Ranga. Stops the ball. Great running from the Ugandan number 16. Absolutely. Absolutely good running from their number 16. Nakato. Brilliant.
I would want to say this, Penda, but swinging like that in a short corner really gets the ball to where it needs to go.
What do you suggest, Jason?
Since they don't have any drag flickers, slapping the ball is much more faster than that swing. Because now the defenders will get to you before you manage to actually get
and
the
Nakato
ball.
on the ball is a fast runner, and she's a very, very good runner there, actually. Senoy on the ball, trying to launch a counter attack. Still Senoy, forward running, great forward running. Eyes up, she's got her eyes up looking for her teammates. Plays it square. Is there another connection pass? Oh, just deemed to be backing into the player again. Unfortunately, not making the most. Kenya's captain Alimo eliminates the player. Great use of the skill there. Another player taken out. And another player. Uganda's captain really hoping that she could make the most of that. Unfortunately, just ran into too much traffic, but a great run there. All right, Alimo again with the ball. Swing and a miss. Kenya's captain now on the ball. Ranga. She finds Senoy. Can she keep her eyes up? Elimination. Nice backhand, left to right drag. And that is surely a foot in the circle. Nope, umpire didn't see it. Play on. Looked like a foot to me. Maybe it was a stick. What do you think, Jason?
Looked like it was a foot to me, but I mean, in hockey, we do not have referrals like that. VAR from soccer.
Well, to be fair, the Kenyans didn't make too much of it, so maybe it was a stick tackle. Right. Oh, yeah, just dangerous there. And I wouldn't be surprised if she does get a card, but the umpire just asking. Yeah, it looks like a card to me. Or is it? It looks like a card to me. It's a green card to the Kenyan number 12, Auma. Just coming in on the wrong side. They're making the play dangerous and also leaning into the play. You know, leaning into the player, just creating an opportunity for danger and infringing the player. Uganda's number 10 now on the ball. All right. Kenya trying to change the angle of attack. That's very good skill there. Umpire says that is a short corner to Kenya.
Deliberate breakdown of play is what I would assume the umpire saw.
Great call there from the umpire. What did you make of the South African short corner battery? The men scored quite a few short corners today. Namibia, South Africa. The score ended 8-0 to South Africa. What did you make of their short corner battery? Some effective drag flicking there from Brooker. He's built like a unit though, Brooker.
Jaden Brooker. He got more than, how many was it?
I think he got a few.
He
Three
got
or
a
four. Three or four.
I think he got like 5. Majority of the short corners, he scored them when he was on the field. And the Namibians just struggled to read on to what he was doing.
Sorry to interrupt you there. What's happened is the umpire deemed that the Kenyan player fainted that, and you're not allowed to do that. And she sent her to the halfway line. Ongaya with the ball now for Kenya. Looks for, she found the foot. She goes by the name Philly on the back of her shirt. Unfortunately, again, the ball does not travel 5 meters, and these are rookie mistakes that they're making at this level. The ball has to travel 5 meters before you can get that ball into the circle. At least has to be a pass before you can get the ball into the circle. You know, and the Kenyan, they just played the ball directly into the circle without the ball traveling 5 meters. So turnover ball, and that'll be very frustrating as a coach. You want your players to execute the basics correctly.
I think Pendapala, the Kenyan ladies probably are very emotional right now. The game emotion is probably very high, considering it's their first game for the Ugandans, and they really want a win. Both teams want a win. Both teams need a win.
So you think the nerves are getting to them? Just a bit too angsty, too wiry. Need to calm down a little bit.
Yes, very much.
Fair call. Okay, good switch here from the Kenyans, trying to launch an attack. One-two combination play, unfortunately, just breaks down there. Nyongesa on the ball, number 5 for Kenya. Launches it to their number 9, Jokeo. Otiendo, great elimination skills there, looking to drive to the circle. She's still driving there, looks for the pass, makes a connection. Turnover from Uganda. Good resilient defending going on there from Uganda. I thought that there was something happening there. Otiendo took that ball. Kenya's number 3. Otiendo took that ball and drove with some purpose. Uganda launches it long. Goes through the lines. Kenya picks it up. 1-2 play. Let's see what the Kenyans can do now. Great skill there. Looking for that 1-2 combination. Again, Nyongsenga on the ball. Sorry, Nyongesa. I keep mispronouncing these names. I need to improve my pronunciation. Imagine I'm butchering the names. Nyongesa. Please excuse me, miss. Okay, Nyongesa restarts the play. Crash ball into the circle. But Uganda now have an opportunity to launch a counter-attack of their own. Another interception, double turnover as we call it. Ongea finds a foot. Ongayo for Kenya now. Finds Ongesa again. Ball into the circle. Does she find a stick? 16, unfortunately. That's a defensive hit out. And as you can see, Kenya really upping the pressure there. 63% of the possession compared to Uganda's 73. Unfortunately, as we've been saying, the final pass is just not finding the teammates, so they're not making the most of their possession. So surely they want to improve on that.
Yes, but this just goes to show how desperate Kenya is for that win in this game right now.
Senoy on the ball again. Kenya's number 14. Nyongesa just unable to utilize the possession there. Well done. Kenya breaks down play and wins the possession again. In the Ugandan 23. Uganda intercepts. Running into trouble there. Turnover again. Kenya ball. Let's see what they can do. Circle penetration to Kenya. Can they find a foot? Can they find a goal? Oh, great work from the captain, Alimo. Again, she's been everywhere for the Ugandans. Alimo, the captain for Uganda. She's been everywhere.
I think it just goes to show us how skilled their captain is. Her running away, like when she ran from their 23 to Kenya's 23.
Good ball carrying for their captain. Okay, Kenya attacking down Uganda's right. It's a free hit because of a foot. Senoy tries to launch that ball into the circle. Intercepted by the Ugandans. He's still in the Ugandan circle. Here's still danger. Oh, and the Ugandans can breathe a sigh of relief. Turnover again. Crash ball through the center. Intercepted. They're really onto it now. Really onto it now. Ugandan player deemed to have been fouled there, so Uganda free hit out. The score still 0-0 here into the final 3 minutes of the game at the Junior Africa Cup in Windhoek, Namibia at the Davin Trusco Hockey Fields. You know, these fields are always kept in such pristine conditions. We have to thank the turf manager, Coach Johan Veyer. Oh, Kenya into the circle. Opportunity to launch an attack. And surely the Kenyans are asking for it. They don't, and they finally get it. Short corner to the Kenyans. They were asking for it. You heard the technical area just screaming, come on fire.
I mean, like I say, game motion tends to go high. The Kenyans are looking for that goal.
Let's see what they can do. Another opportunity at another short corner. They've been going. They've been adding up these short corners for the Kenyan team. But can they make it count?
They need to change that short corner tactic. They need to do a variation, something quick, something fast.
Let's see.
Before the Kenyan defense ladies get to them.
Let's see. Jockey on the push out for Kenya. Push out is good enough. Oh, hobbles over the stick. It's a variation. Strike at goal. Oh, 16. That's a very, very good shot there. You're hoping that there's just a second player running to that second post for the tip in, don't you want? Just went wide of the second post, but it was a good shot to the second post. Just went wide.
Very much.
Uganda again, crash ball through the middle. Their number 5, Atim, technical player. Number 16 now for Kenya. I mean Uganda, please excuse me. Ball in the pocket. They're scrapping for that ball. Kenya wins the ball. Turnover by Atim. She's made it live again.
So we're just into our last minute and 30 seconds of the game right now, which is the third chaka, actually not the last minutes of the game, but the third quarter or chaka of the game.
All right, Kenya just trying to find something there. Still, the deadlock still not broken. Still 0-0. The game has been stop-start for most of it, but Kenya for some time in the third quarter, upping the temperature. The player deemed to have been pushed over there, just getting too physical. So although hockey is not a contact sport, it does get physical, especially in the bigger leagues in Europe, you know. So we just need to, sometimes as we say, pop.
Yeah, you know, we saw in the South Africa and Namibia game today, one of the big guys got pushed down by a small Giovanni Handura, and he looked at him and asked out loud, "Are you sure it was you that pushed me down?"
Yeah. Pop. So we need to get some physicality into the game. Of course, we want to keep it safe for the players. All right. Kenya just turnover again. Unable to utilize that final quarter, you know, just what you were mentioning. They get the ball up into that final quarter, just unable to utilize. Turnover again to the Kenyans. Final few seconds of the game. Final 17 seconds. Kenya break into the circle. Opportunity now for the Kenyans. Oh, the ball just trickles out. And it seems like it's trickled out for a long corner for the Kenyans. The goalkeeper just guiding her players, telling them to pick up, telling them to mark. The final 2 seconds of the game. Surely nothing is going to come out of this. And that horn signals the end of the third quarter. Everything happens in the fourth quarter, Jason.
Yes, the fourth quarter tends to be very, very high tempo.
High tempo.
Yes.
Action.
Both teams will now want to score. Whoever scores might just go home with a win tonight in the second day of the Junior Africa Cup.
Here in Windhoek, Namibia, Davin Trusco Hockey Fields. Once again, the pristine conditions of these fields brought to you by Johan Veyer, who is actually the under-21 coach for the men's team. So not only is he a good coach, but also a good technical director for the turf, isn't he?
Yes, he is very much a good director of the turf. He doesn't allow chewing on the turf. drinking water on the turf. You have to follow his rules on his turf because he's maintaining the turf.
Goes by the rules. Uganda, Kenya, 0-0. Live from the Dave and Trusco Hockey Stadium in Windhoek, Namibia. Brought to you by NBC Sport. You know, it's always awesome to get hockey in Namibia televised.
Yes.
We don't see it often. Maybe we can get NBC to showcase the games for the Premier League, huh?
Yes, very much. The very interesting games. I mean, hockey is a small community in the country at the moment, and it's growing thanks to Erwin Handura with his Standard Bank hockey development. So high schools are now playing hockey. Schools all over the country are playing hockey. So it will be fun and actually inspiring to stream it on our local television for our kids to see.
Get the kids to see. And the teams are lining up again to see out the final quarter of this game. I think the coaches gave their final instructions. Uganda with a pushback. And they launch immediately with an attack. The player not deemed to be 5. The coach is shouting for the captain Alimo to leave the ball, run off, so that they can get the ball to go. And Uganda have to be careful here. They have to be careful that the play is not turned over, because the umpire might deem that they're wasting time. Okay, Uganda restart the game. Crash ball in towards Kenya circle. Uganda player just backing in there. She must be careful that she doesn't draw a foul. Oh, coming together there. Uganda's number 6, Babirye. Babirye, number 6 from Uganda. On the screen there, Coach Umpire Irene Handura from Namibia. Okay, Kenya launch another counter attack. Let's see what they've got here. Intercepted by Uganda. Nakato on the ball trying to make something happen. However, she's intercepted by number 5 from Kenya, Nyongesa. Again another interception, and then another interception. It has been the running theme of this game. Kenya now with an opportunity to launch an attack again in the Ugandan 23. One-handed steal there. Again, crash ball into the circle. Does it find a stick? No. Guess who it is again? Nakato from Uganda on the ball. Interception. She's backing into the player there. She has to be careful. Unfortunately, sideline ball. So she has to be careful. She's backing into the player, and she might just draw a foul there. So Kenya with an opportunity again to just pin Uganda back into their final 23.
You want to think Kenya is going to
captain
capitalize.
Ranga with the ball, attacking that baseline. She attacks the sideline, crashes that ball into the circle, intercepted by the Ugandan. The ball is still in the Ugandan circle. Looks for that backhand. Uganda's struggling to clear the ball. Yeah, dangerous ball. I thought that initial ball was a dangerous ball into the circle, and I think the co-umpire just signaled to the Namibian umpire that it was a lifted ball, dangerous into the circle. So free hit out to the Ugandans. A moment of reprieve for them.
We are 12 minutes into the game currently. Into the fourth quarter, the final
12 minutes.
The final 12 minutes of the game. And Kenya is still not getting that final touch.
Look, Kenya have been really upping the tempo from the start of that third quarter. They've been in Uganda's face trying to make something happen, but it's just been that final pass. And here again, Kenya with an opportunity to launch. Lucky for the Ugandan there. I felt she had a hand on the back of the Kenyan player, so lucky that she got away with that one. Unfortunately, not just getting the most. Kenya's captain, Ranga, opportunity to run this at them.
I think Uganda, the only way Uganda right
Ranga
now.
on the ball now. Oh, great steal. Again, that number 16. Crash ball into the circle. Yeah, correct call from the umpire. Correct call into the umpire. Nakato from Uganda has been everywhere.
So right now it just seems like Uganda is overloading their circle to not give the Kenyans any chance to get 3 men there and finish the hit to score a goal.
Look, great observation there, Jason. But unfortunately, what happens is when you launch that attack, you don't have many players to give you that counter attack because you're kind of filling your circle. And as you saw there was a river ball through, but there wasn't anyone to pick that ball up. But now, Kenya, once again, opportunity to launch another attack.
And it also seems like the Ugandans are tired already right now in the 4th quarter.
Look, they've been doing a lot of defensive running. Philly on the ball, crash ball into the circle, but intercepted. Umpire just deemed that to have been obstruction or stick challenge there from the Ugandans. Kenya with another opportunity to launch an attack. Crash ball again into the circle. Is there a stick at the end of that? It's still in the circle. Still some danger for Kenya. Can they make the most of this? Oh, unfortunately, the ball just leaves the circle, but there's still danger. Still danger for the Ugandans. There's a player down. There's a player down in the circle. Yep, the ball is just stopped. The player down in the circle. I just don't know what happened there. Unfortunately, let's hope that she's okay. Hopefully that there wasn't a stick to the face or stick to the body. All right, and we're just hoping that the player can get some treatment and that she is okay.
Seems like they are waiting for a medic to go and assist the player right now. I mean, hockey is an uncontact sport, but it is also dangerous at times.
It is dangerous at times, but as you can see there, the Kenyan team just huddled in there, trying to get some tactics, trying to see what they can do differently, and hopefully the game should restart with a bully, traditional bully. I haven't seen a bully in the longest time.
We had a bully today.
Really?
Yes, we had a bully today in Egypt and
the Kenya game.
Nah, Egypt and Zambia game.
Oh, okay.
We had a bully today. It was quite interesting to see in a big tournament like this one, a bully.
Oh, I think the Kenyan captain just pulled a muscle there. She has been the Ugandan captain, sorry. So it's the Ugandan captain, Alimo. She's been all over the field, you know. So you can understand that she's probably just pulled a muscle there. We trust that she'll be okay. We trust that she'll be able to continue because she's been pivotal for the Ugandan team, especially in the defensive structure. The Ugandan players just watching on there, but the Kenyan players, as you can see, doing the right thing. There when this game that is stopped, first of all, you want to stay warm, but you also want to make sure that you get into a huddle, just re-strategize and see where you're supposed to be.
It's the Ugandans' first game of the tournament, and their captain is out. I wonder what this will do to the morale of the team.
Look, I think they've done well, and Irene Handura just signaling there again that the game should restart with a bully, a traditional bully. So what happens here is that 2 players facing the direction of the goal that they're defending, actually the goal that they're attacking. So they stand facing each other. The direction of the goal that they're attacking is on their right, and they stamp the stick once on the turf, and then it's free for all. Let's see how they go. Stamp and go, free for all. There we go. The Kenyans, great sweep there. Good technique. Good protection of the ball, but one-handed steal from the Ugandan. Unfortunately, she can't keep her feet out of the way. Ranga on the ball there for Kenya. Yeah, it looked like a foot there from the Kenyan. So frustrating. I would be so frustrated as a coach. You just want a sequence of play to go. Swing some passes along. Attack the circle. Make something happen. Interception again from the Kenyans. Ranga on the ball. Again intercepted.
We have seen some
Nakato again on the ball.
We have seen some exemplary skills portrayed by Kenya's number 5, Wendy Nyongesa.
She has been quite fantastic for me as well. Ongaya. Ball into the circle. We'll restart the play with a long corner here to the Kenyans. You know, the Kenyan keeper must wonder what it feels like to touch a ball. The action has just been in the Ugandan quarter.
Very much. It kind of reminds me with the South Africa and Zambia ladies game today.
One-sided.
It was a one-sided game. The South African goalie didn't touch the ball at all.
Unfortunately.
The defenders were even resting
Look,
at some point.
Look, Jason, for tournaments like this, they also serve as instructional tournaments for some of these new players. I mean, for example, Zambia, first time here at the tournament, debutants. And I think that they've done well for themselves to not only come to the tournament, but also put up a fair fight. It's not easy to play against South Africa, but it's a learning opportunity for all the teams. A swing and a miss from Ranga there from the Kenyans.
Yes, it is very much a learning opportunity for teams and individuals as players, because they go back to their countries and build the hockey there.
100%. They take that experience back there to their juniors and also to their teammates. Another river ball through, just going out. Defensive hit. Defensive hit out for the Kenyans. Wanted to take it quick, but the umpire just wanted them to slow down a little bit. Nyongesa again launches the ball long for the Kenyans. The ball's intercepted there by the Kenyans. They break into the circle. Can they make something happen? Kenya still got, turnover ball again. They still had that ball around the Ugandan circle. Unfortunately, once again, could not capitalize on that possession.
We are now halfway through the fourth and final quarter of the game. And this is the last game for Day 2 Junior Africa Cup.
Look, there's been a lot of action today. The first game of the day, South Africa, Zambia, 19-0. A dominant performance there from the South Africans. And then Zimbabwe against Zambia, 2-1. Zimbabwe took that one. Egypt versus Kenya, a game of controversy, a game of interesting facts. Kenya were leading 4-2. Oh, look at that. South Africa, Kenya right into the circle there, and they win another short corner. Great work from the Kenyan forward. So, Kenya versus Egypt, leading 4-2. Egypt able to pull that game back to 4-4. Then South Africa versus Namibia, the big dogs, the bullies, the brothers. There's always a love-hate relationship between Namibia and South Africa, but unfortunately, South Africa just quite dominant there. 8-0 to the South Africans. And then we saw Namibia beat Zimbabwe. Also quite a comfortable score there for the Namibians. And now, Uganda versus Kenya, 0-0. But Kenya with an opportunity to break the deadlock on this short corner.
We'll see whether the Kenyans actually decided to change that tactic or not.
Let's see, the push out is good. The ball hasn't quite left the circle. Yep. The umpire calling that. Great call from Irene Handura. Just signaling there to the players that the ball didn't leave the circle. So with a short corner, for any of the new viewers, anyone new to hockey, the ball has to leave the circle before a shot can be taken towards the goal.
I think the Kenyan captain was just too eager to score.
Yes.
Like I said, when game motion is high, players may forget the rules for the sport.
All right, Kenya now. Ranga for the Kenyans. Launching another counter-attack, looking for that 1-2 combination play. Kenya attacking into the circle. Let's see what they can do. And it seems to be another short corner to the Kenyans. Can they make it work? The Kenyan staff, just technical staff, just shouting out instructions. Maybe they've got something up their sleeves here. Let's see what they've got to offer us, Jason.
We will see what they are gonna do, but it seemed like it was something different from the short corner, the previous short corner they tried taking.
Yes, they changed their castle there. Good observation. They changed their castle. Let's see whether they'll change it up again. Once again, they changed their castle again. Let's see what they have to offer. Do you think it will be skipped through to the captain? Looks like it will be. Let's see what they have. The push out is good. The ball's left the circle this time. Another short corner. That was a great attempt there. Good attempt. Finally, shot on goal. Finally. Second opportunity. Let's see if they can improve and finally break the deadlock here. We're into the final 6 minutes of the game. The push out is good. Skipped past the captain. second, a third. The short corners are piling up. Kenya have to make it count. Look at that possession, 64% to 36 for Uganda. You know, Kenya have really been trying to get that pressure on there, but they're not making it count, Jason.
The Kenyan ladies they are hungry for a win.
Let's go. The push out is good. Stop there is good. Oh, great save there. Another opportunity, a flick. Can they get a final push? And they're on the line, and there's a goal line scramble. What can they do? Oh, someone defending. Unbelievable. You just think the goal line scramble.
That was supposed to be a goal from the Kenyan.
You're really hoping that he crosses the line there. Unbelievable.
Paul was literally on the line.
It was waiting to be stuck in. Let's see. Another push out. Push out is good. Outside the circle. And it's a variation. Strike and a miss. Just one. You can see the disappointment from the Kenyan number 15, Ongayo. Ongayo thought that she had an opportunity there, and there was some action there, Jason. I told you, fourth quarter is where the action comes. Look at this goal bound scramble. Ongayo stretching, trying to play it square. And you think, open goal, and she just couldn't sort her stick out in time. Goal bound scramble now. Goalkeeper doing all she can to keep that ball out. Brilliant
Too bad
action.
we do not have VAR to see behind there whether the ball actually passed the line or not.
I don't think that ball crossed the line, Jason. Wishful thinking. Good defense and good intensity from both teams. No, the Kenyan there trying to make sure the ball crosses the line, and the goalkeeper adamant that ball is not going past. She wants to keep her clean sheet. But Kenya still have 4 minutes, just under 4 minutes to make the most of this. Ranga, crash ball into the circle, intercepted. Uganda unfortunately can't hold on to that ball. Kenya still around the dangerous area. Break into the circle for the Kenyans. Another injury there to the Kenyan. And I think it's a free hit out.
Number 12, Cynthia Oma.
It's a free hit out to the Ugandans. One of the teams there for the ball. Intercepted. Turnover, quick play. Oh, I don't think she was 5. Okay, Kenya trying to launch an attack, trying to switch the play. Off a Ugandan foot there. Good idea from the Kenyan captain, Ranga, trying to just switch the play because everything was congested down the right channel. However, she goes down the same channel again, deflected out, and it's a long corner for the Kenyans.
And that is why you would always want to have a man by post. Postman, run.
Look, Jason, I agree with you. It seems like the tactic for both the Kenyans and the Ugandans have been to play that long ball through the middle, and you then just want to consolidate that by having a player on the post to just receive that river ball if it does go through. Doesn't help you looking for the long balls, and there's not one to pick that ball up or to be at the end of that ball.
So with them playing those long balls, you ideally want P-Sportman, postman for those deflection shots.
Another turnover here by the Kenyans. Final 2 minutes of this encounter between Kenya and Uganda at the Junior Africa Cup here in Windhoek, Namibia, brought to you by NBC Sport Live. Oh, and just again, missing it at the final post. You can hear the reaction from the bench and from the spectators here. That was really close, Jason.
It was very, very close. I think their video analysis tonight is going to be...
Look at this crash ball. The player's just camping out there, and she just could not get to the end of it. Oh, whiskers away.
I think they need to improve on the postman.
Right, another interception by the Kenyans. They're really putting up that pressure there. Crash ball again into the Ugandan circle. Ugandans try and get the ball away. They've been dogged in their defense. The Ugandans.
I mean, the Ugandans right now are just playing defense, and the Kenyans are just hungry for a goal.
Look, Jason, with 1 minute or so, just under 1 minute or over 1 minute or so to go of the game, you don't want to concede now. There's a green card to the Kenyan number 12 there. Auma receives another green card. I thought she received a green card before, but I suppose it's not for the same offense, so that's why it's green. We'll just have a look at the stat sheet to see who's been receiving which cards. Into the dying embers of this game now. The final minute of the game. Everyone's on edge. We want to just crash that ball up forward. Get into the other team circle. The captain is back on the field here. Alimo for Kenya, back on the field. Alimo asked to just crash that ball into the circle. And it's a long corner for Uganda. The final 20 seconds of this game. Let's see. Can Uganda grab a sucker punch? They've been on the back foot.
If Uganda makes a comeback right now, it will be devastating for the
final 10 seconds. There's a second ball on the pitch, and I think Uganda probably just happy to see this out. And that will be the end of that. Uganda 1-0-0. Uganda versus Kenya, the final game of the Junior Africa Cup here in Windhoek, Namibia, brought to you by NBC Sport.
This was quite disappointing for the Kenyans, but also I think the Ugandians got what they wanted out of it, a draw, because the Kenyans proved to be the superior team to the Ghanaians. So I think the Ugandans are happy from here.
Look, I think as the Ugandans, having missed the first game, they'll be happy to just get some points on the board. There is a qualification ticket for the Junior World Cup at stake here. So, you start your first game, and the visuals on the screen right now, just the highlights from the game. Some goal mouth scrambles, last minute, last ditch defending from the Ugandans, and the Kenyans trying to get that ball to cross the line.
It has been a long day of hockey, but also a very interesting day, as we saw Uganda's first game of the tournament. So now we have an idea of where the tournament, who the super dogs are, and who the underdogs are in the tournament. But still, anything may happen.
Look at this goal mouth scramble here. Look at this action here. Look at that determination from the Ugandan the goalkeeper. She was adamant that ball is
Penda Pala, that ball went inside, I think.
No.
I would want to.
The ball did not cross the line, Jason. The ball did not cross the line. And you can see from the reaction from the Kenyan player that it's not crossed the line. And Alimo, the Ugandan captain, just looking for that river ball again. Usually, Jason, the best thing about being an umpire is you see the response and the reaction of the players, and they help you know whether you've made the correct decision again. And here are the full-time stats for the game. Uganda, Kenya, here. Dave and Trusco Hockey Fields, 0-0 was the score. Kenya dominating the shots there, 7 shots to 0. The circle penetrations from Kenya. Imagine in the first half, it was 8-0, and Kenya really upped the temperature there. 23 circle penetrations, 65% of the possessions compared to 35. Short corners, 10. Unfortunately, Kenya could just not make it count. Final score, 0-0 here at the David Trusco Hockey Fields, Windhoek, Namibia. And what will be happening here is the coaches will be going in and just trying to find out how do we improve this. And on the screen here again shows us what we've been seeing for today. South Africa, curtain raiser, 19-0 to Zambia. Zambia debutants to the competition. Zambia men, 2-1 down Zimbabwe. Good showcasing there. Egypt, 4-4 against Kenya. Egypt came back, 4-2. They were 4-2 down, but they came back. South Africa against Namibia, the big game for the day. 8-0 by the South Africans. Very dominant display from them. Jaden Brooker, short corner master. Then the Namibian, the women's team thought they'd get some home advantage, some revenge for the men's. 6-0 against Zimbabwean counterparts. And then the final game for today, a very scrappy affair, but 0-0. And I think Uganda will be very proud of themselves. Their first game of the day, able to get the score sheet 0-0. And tomorrow will be a rest day, interestingly. Just allow the teams to get their massages, cool down, stretch, realign themselves. But these are the fixtures for Monday, the 21st of April. Uganda versus Zimbabwe. Zambia versus Egypt. Zimbabwe versus South Africa for the men's. Then the women. South Africa versus Kenya. And you know the South African women are going to be coming all guns blazing. Then the Namibian men have an opportunity to consolidate or do a revenge for the loss of today's performance against Kenya. The Kenyans will not be easy. And then Namibian women against Zambia as the final game of the day for Monday. Lots of action-packed hockey that we have in store for the viewers at home. For the spectators here, you know, I think one of the games to look at is definitely the Namibia-Kenya game.
Yes, very much. The Namibia-Kenya game is going to be very interesting to watch.
Thank you for tuning in here at the Junior Africa Cup. Windhoek, Namibia, Dave and Trusco Hockey Field, brought to you by NBC Sport. We're going to be signing out. My name is Pendapala Namjebo.
And my name is Jason Amwama.
And we'll see you on Monday for some more action. Thank you very much.